Good morning. It is Erin Esser with Morning Minutes with Erin. It is April 13th, 2023. And I'm bringing you the energy today from a soul's perspective, short and sweet, to the point, as much as I can to the point, along with giving you a contemplation, journaling, or reflection question as well. So today we have the energy in, I just looked it up before here now. Aries, we're still in Aries, Aries 23. And the energy today is the shaping power of higher forces, allowing spiritual energies to inspire and impress us and to shape our lives. So Daniel Rudhyar's Sabian symbol, his definition is blown inward by the wind. The curtains of an open window take the shape of a cornucopia. So if you can go back to even just, I've mentioned this week that every energy builds upon the previous energy, builds upon the previous energy, builds upon the previous energy. So even if you go back to just even Monday this week, right? We possibly had a challenge, right? That we was measuring our strength and weaknesses. So how we showed up for that for ourselves was very telling of how the next day is going to be and how we're going to interpret that energy and our perspective of that energy. And so the 11th on Tuesday was really about keeping a state of optimism, and that optimism is true vulnerability. It's easy to go negative. It's easy to be pessimistic. It's easy to take that route. How can we push our edge though and stay optimistic along our life path, no matter the circumstances, right? Really going, stepping bravely where no man or woman has gone before, no matter what, right? How can we stay on that path? So you can see how the challenge from Monday and how we showed up for that impacted Tuesday's energy as well for ourselves. And then yesterday's energy as well too on Wednesday was really about focus and intention. What are you saying yes to and what are you saying no to? Is your yeses clear in your abilities and in your own unique qualities, or are you saying yes because of obligation or because of a belief that someone might be upset if you said no, right? So being very excuse me, being very conscious of what we're committing ourselves to, because those are the seeds that are being planted. So today's is really about as we've come along this time frame, right? What are we noticing? What are we paying attention to? Are we tuning in to the depth, to the deeper levels that spirit is wanting us to tune into? Or are we still playing on the surface? Are we still not in touch with the higher forces that are really truly trying to shape our lives? So this is really, it's about personal attainment as evidenced by the spiritual state of abundance. The more abundant that you can allow your emotional state to be in, your physical and your spiritual state to be in, the more of that outlook of abundance that you have for your life, that will be matched to you in your environment. So it talks about here in this is that symbolically the open window is inviting, the prevailing breeze is unseen. So I want to read that again symbolically, because this is about some symbology, right? Are we looking into the deeper meaning of something, or are we just saying, oh no, that's just that, and we're not allowing spirit to guide us into the depth of our soul, right? Or are we allowing our ego to keep us in this state of protection? Because the soul knows the higher story. The soul knows the highest version of where we are and what we came here to be. The ego likes to hold on, right, to what it thinks it is. The ego wants it now, right? So all of our addictions, I talked about emotional addictions, all of those things, whether they're emotional, physical, spiritual, doesn't matter, anything that you're clinging on to hold you in a state of that you're used to. That is the ego trying to keep you bound, right? And our soul is trying to allow us to go, no, like move out of this state. I know the plans that I have for you, and they are good, right? So symbolically, the open window is inviting. The prevailing breeze is unseen, yet points toward the horn of plenty. From this, it is understood that for those ready to respond, now think about this, ready to respond, subtle guidance must not be ignored if we are to seize the day. In Sufism, the mystery of the earth plane is seen to be abundance. The perception of oneself as poor is false. It's either of a false interpretation or a false strategy of mind. So what is allowing you to be held back from seeing the deeper of what's happening, really the deepest space of what's happening, the energetic movements that might not be available to all for all to see, but Spirit's giving you a window to see into something that is still yet unseen by the masses, by the surface, right? So, and that is where we reach a state of abundance, because we know not everything is as it seems. There's so much more. And really tuning into the meaning of something that's seemingly meaningless. Because the minute we're like, that doesn't mean anything, that's just this, right? We're using our mind, our ego, to keep us away from receiving all that Spirit wants us to receive. And it's usually based on a past wound, and or just keeping the same, right? Status quo. Right? Now, here's the thing, there's a fine line, because we're not going to want to like be all airy fairy and be like everything is like this, and we have to like tune in our own what meanings we're putting on things, and being very curious about that. Like, that's interesting. Why am I attaching this meaning to this happening or this being said? Or can I just be playful about it? So today also I want to bring forth an awareness this afternoon. So right now the moon, which is our emotions, and it's our focus, because where our emotions are is what we focus on. We have a very unique situation that we get to explore today. All of us do. The moon is going to be conjunct Pluto at 0 degree Aquarius, and we've never in our whole lives here in this lifetime experienced this energy. So today's energy of seeing beneath the surface, right? Allowing yourself to go there, allowing yourself to see what is yet unseen. Now, Pluto may be bringing up emotions, a focus for you. Pay attention to what your emotional state is and what you're focusing on this afternoon. So when I say this afternoon, what I mean is the time frame around, I would say, let's say 3-4-ish Eastern time till around maybe 8. So 4 or 5 hours in there, and this is Eastern time. So wherever you're at, adjust your time accordingly. Just pay attention, because we are being initiated. Pluto's all about initiation, right? We're being initiated potentially into the emotional resonance for our next 20 years. collectively and personally. So pay attention to what you're focusing on and what your emotional state is between these hours. Like I said, maybe 3, 4 Eastern till around, let's just say 8 Eastern. So 4 or 5 hours, pay attention. Write it down, put it in your calendar, write a little thing on, Facebook, so it comes up on memories, so that you can have a memory come up and be like, oh yeah, that was it. Because this is the foreshadowing. Again, we've never had the moon conjunct Pluto in Aquarius ever in our lifetimes, and it's at 0 degrees. So this is a newness, a new emotional state as a collective and personally that we are going to be in. And this could be foreshadowing over the next 20 years. So do you see now, as we go back, and if you haven't watched my videos before this, watch them, they're short. Everything builds upon the previous. Everything builds upon the previous. So if you find yourself in a not so great emotional state, go back and say, okay, how did I show up for these energies on this day, on this day, on this day? What was my reaction? What was my response? And I want to also too, and I'm going to leave you with this. You are fully capable of changing your emotional state. You are fully capable of changing your emotional state no matter what is happening around you. You get to choose where you want to be. It's nobody else, it's you. You're not a victim to anything. You're not a victim to your astrology. You're not a victim to your human design. You're not a victim to your financial situation. You're not a victim to your relationship situation. You're not a victim to your housing situation. You can shift your emotional state to be one of an emotional abundance of what you see. What do you see when you look outside of, what do your eyes see? What is the vision? What are you receiving? You can change it. And I'm saying this from experience because I've done it for myself. And the times that I don't, when I'm being really honest with myself, the times when I don't change my emotional state, it's because I really don't want to. I just don't want to. I'm attached to whatever. Like, I'm addicted to that feeling of whatever it is, whatever is coming up for me in that time. So pay attention to that for yourself. That's just a hard truth. You can argue with me all you want on that, but it's the truth. And you get to choose. And this is the most empowerment. That's empowerment right there. You get to choose. You're not a victim to anything. So I just leave you with that as a place to center in on for you and pay attention to your emotional state and your focus this afternoon, those hours. And also allow yourself to see under what is spirit guiding you to seeing that is maybe just a gift for you. Maybe you don't have to share it with anybody. Maybe it's just a gift for you, but receive it today. All right. Until next time. Bye.